Welcome to White Regis TV Film Review and Preview. I'm Andrew Wright. So this week, the live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch was released on home video. The film is a live-action adaptation of the original 2002 Disney animation. The film stars Maya Kealoha as Lilo alongside Chris Sanders reprising his role as Stitch from the animated films. The film revolves around Stitch, an alien experiment, crash landing on Earth in Hawaii, and befriending a lonely and troubled girl named Lilo. The film also stars Courtney B. Vance, Hannah Waddingham, Billy Magnussen, and Zach Galifianakis. The film was released back in May to somewhat modest reviews from critics, but it was a runaway box office success, becoming the first Hollywood film of 2025 to gross $1 billion worldwide. So I went into this film not having seen the original animated film, but I was aware of the character of Stitch, having seen some merchandise on sale, as well as in places like Disneyland, like Disney shops and that. And I have to say, I really liked it. I thought, at times the script and story were awkward and cringy, but the story was also really moving, especially in the moments between Lilo and Stitch, where Lilo is teaching Stitch about life in Hawaii. I gave the film 3.5 stars out of 5. It's not a perfect film, but I still liked it. Lilo and Stitch is available on home video now and will be streaming next week on Disney+. So this week, the Netflix original film, The Thursday Murder Club, arrives on Netflix. The film is directed by Chris Columbus, most famous for directing Home Alone and the first 2 Harry Potter films. The film is an adaptation of a novel written by Richard Osman. The film revolves around a group of elderly amateur sleuths living in a retirement home who attempt to solve a murder. The film has an all-star British cast, including Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, Ben Kingsley, Celia Imrie, Jonathan Pryce, Richard E. Grant, David Tennant, and Tom Ellis. Early reviews for the film were quite positive, and I watched the film on release day yesterday, from when I record. So I watched it Thursday. I thought it was just a quirky British crime dramedy with prestigious British actors and an overstuffed wobbly script. It's about elderly people in a retirement home. It literally played out like British acting royalty was being put out to pasture. I gave the film 3 stars out of 5. So last weekend I finally got the opportunity to go see the Fantastic Four: First Steps in the cinema. The film is the 37th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The film stars Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ebon Moss-Bachrach as the titular team, and the film revolves around the Fantastic Four protecting their Earth from the planet-devouring cosmic being Galactus. So the film was released a month ago to positive reviews from critics, but gained very little traction at the box office. So yeah, I finally got to see the film, and I absolutely loved it. The chemistry of the cast was great, as were the performances of Pascal and Kirby, and I liked that the film was confident enough in its audience to know who these characters were right out the gate to help constantly propel the film forward. I gave the film 4.5 stars out of 5. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I'll be talking about The Conjuring Last Rites. See you next time.